Friends, I'm back. Free NFL Bets podcast. My name is Eric. I'm a little under the weather, but I'm here for you guys. I really do love doing this podcast, even though there's some weeks where I'm like, man, I don't feel like doing it. But I got a good amount of you guys that listen every single week, and you listen all the way through. So I do appreciate you guys a lot. I add something to your week, some bit of value, maybe entertainment, and I just really appreciate you guys listening to the podcast. Last week, there's a lot to like. I think it was like a minus 1 unit week for me, so I was still in the negative for the year, minus like 15 units or something like that. It's only like 4 positions, so 4 bets away from breaking even. Still plenty of football. That's just how it goes some years, guys. Sometimes it takes a while to get to the profit. Sometimes you start hot. Sometimes you start on and off. And it's just been kind of that year for me. But I still feel very confident. Last week I went 5-2 with my underplays, I believe. And so that was really good to see. Just working on my spread picks, guys. Working on my spread picks. I've not been great at those, but I'm here to turn it around. So let's turn it around. Thursday Night Football. It's a good game. Really damn good game. Got the Cowboys at the Lions. Spread is -3 to the home team, Detroit. And the over-under's at 54.5. So, guys, basically what I've been doing, and I only bet it if I agree with it, is that, and I say it all the time, guys, I know, I'm a broken record, but until you guys just start really seeing it work, then you'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, he's not just saying stuff to say stuff. This is actually really valuable information. I just faded every single under last week that I agreed with. There was one I think that I stayed off that still went under. If both teams have more overs than unders for the year, okay, and they're both playing each other, I don't have the number this year, but those games have been going under at an extremely profitable rate, like post-week 7-ish, post-week 8. The last 5 weeks, last month, betting these unders has been a really good situation, guys. And it's just simple. At the end of the year, there's only 1 or 2 teams that are above 60% to the over and above 60% to the under. That's what it is. And so right now, it's still an over season. Well, actually, this week I think it's 50-50. I think the unders finally caught up to the overs, and it's 50-50 on the year. I'm pretty positive on that. So still bet with caution, but that's what I'm aiming for. Anyway, sorry, went on a little bit of a spiel there. For this game, I'm still holding faith with the Detroit Lions. I know it's hard, guys. I know it's hard. Especially the way that they showed up on Thanksgiving, especially the way the secondary played on Thanksgiving, and they have to go against Pickens and CeeDee Lamb this week. It's a tough matchup. The total's at 54.5 for a reason. They're expecting scoring on both sides. Obviously, if I'm betting the Lions, I need St. Brown in there. I need Amon-Ra St. Brown in there. If he's not in the game, That's huge, guys. That's huge. So I'm not betting Detroit unless he's in there. That's for sure. Lions are in trouble. They really need to win this game to keep their postseason hopes alive. If they lose this game, they're still alive, but they got a lot of work to do. I lean Lions -3. It's tough, guys. For that total, I think both these teams are over teams. Detroit 7-5 to the over, Dallas 8-4 to the over. So yeah, I like this over. I like this under 54.5. I think it does hit, especially if St. Brown doesn't play. And it's just simple. Dallas defense is playing better since they got all their new additions off of IR, via trade, all that stuff. So Dallas defense is playing better. Detroit defense has ability. And this isn't a short week because both these teams played on Thursday last week on Thanksgiving, so there's none of that Thursday fatigue factor. I'm probably going to get involved and bet the under 54.5 as well. Okay, guys, next game up, Sunday slate. We got the Commanders at the Vikings. Spread is -2 to the home favorite Minnesota. and the total is at 42.5 or 42. Now, Washington is a slight over team, and Minnesota is an over team. So this is another one that fits the bill, right? Both of these two teams are over teams. I don't have the numbers on it, but I've been betting it, and it's been working, guys. And I've been doing it in the NBA as well. You get two heavy over teams, just bet them to the under. And it makes sense, guys. Vikings defense is very good, especially against lesser offensive opponents. And so I definitely like the Vikings defense to hold the Commanders offense down. Commanders offense on the road, I don't trust that. Yeah, they played really, really well at home on Sunday Night Football against a really good defense, but playing on the road, that's a lot different situation. And then for the Vikings, oh God, like whoever plays at quarterback, I don't think it matters. Both of them are bad, even against the Commanders defense. Like, yeah, maybe they'll be able to run the ball a little bit better, but for the winner to get to 27 points, like maybe the Vikings do get to 27 or 30 points, maybe, but at the same time, I don't know if the Commanders get more than 14 points. 27-14, that's 41 points right there. I could see 27-14, but more likely than not, I see like a 23-13 game. I think Commanders team total under is the safest bet in that game. What would that be? It would be under 20.5. You know what? I actually really like that. That might be the safest play out of them all. I highly, highly doubt that they get to 21 points, the Commanders. Highly doubt that. Yeah, I know Marcus Mariota looked nice last week. Terry McLaurin's back and all that. Guys, I'm telling you, Vikings defense is good at home. Yeah, like, guys, come on. Seriously. The Commanders are not scoring 21 points. Okay. So yeah, you know where my head's at. I like the Vikings at home, even with JJ McCarthy. I know it's kind of hard to believe. I think that against the spread trend, let me see ATS wise. I think both these teams are bottom teams. Washington's 4-8. Oh, they're both 4-8. Yeah, guys, I like Minnesota to win this game a lot, even with JJ McCarthy. I know. It's hard. It'll be a little painful, but trust me, that shit is going to cash. Okay, hold on. I gotta write down that. I forgot to write down the Vikings -2. All right, and then I like this under with the Washington, Minnesota. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Okay, I'm ready. Next game up, we got the Dolphins at the Jets, and Dolphins money is coming in. It's going to 3. It was -2, -2.5. Now it's up to -3. The road favorite Dolphins, and I agree with it. The total's at 41.5, and the reason why I agree with the Dolphins money is the Jets last week. It was one of the most, not one of the most. I'll say it's one of the most classic cases of the team really did not deserve to win, but the other team basically just gave away the game in the Falcons. The Jets scored 3 touchdowns. 2 of them, well, three of their scoring possessions were set up by special teams or defense, essentially. And a muffed kick at the 1-yard line, and then they scored a touchdown with Breece Hall. And then another was a kickoff return for like 90 yards to the 15-yard line or something like that. So, like, the Jets still didn't look that good, guys. Tyrod Taylor made some okay plays. Like, he threw one bomb. That was the other touchdown I scored. They threw like a 50-yard bomb to Adonai Mitchell, and Mike Hughes, the cornerback for Atlanta, fell down. Like, guys, seriously, come on. You can't make this stuff up. So the Jets, that win last week was fluky, in my opinion, or more so like the Falcons just suck, which is probably a little bit of both. But anyways, I like the Dolphins. Dolphins are the better team. They should win this game. The Jets are a really bad football team still. They're playing hard. I'll give them that. But they're still a bad football team. And against the spread, the Jets are actually covering a lot, guys. They're 7-4 this year against the spread. They're 63% cover rate. That's just not going to sustain, okay? And it starts here. Miami's 6-6. So yeah, it fits the bill here. I really like Miami in this spot, guys. I'm probably going to bet Miami as well. And for the over-under, I like the under. I think both these teams are over teams, if I'm remembering correctly. Miami's 6-5 to the over. The Jets are 7-5. So yeah, I like this over a lot too. I mean the under 41.5. Dolphins defense is playing really well, like the last 5 weeks. Really well, guys. Like that front set, like they were the worst team in the NFL against the run, and now that front seven, I don't know what it is. They're playing better, guys. They're playing better, and so Tyrod Taylor can't move the ball. And the Jets defense is playing hard too. Like I could easily see a 24-17 game. That's 41 stays under 41.5. I could see more realistically like a 20-14 game. That's only 34 points. I mean, the Dolphins' offense last week against the Saints defense. Saints defense is pretty bad, and they could only get 21 points, and one was they really only scored 19 offensive points because Minkah Fitzpatrick housed the 2-point conversion. So yeah, I like Dolphins. I like the under 41.5. Next game up, we got the Titans at the Browns. Oh boy, this is a good game just because it's Shedeur versus Cam Ward, and Cam Ward was hyped up. Well, I guess both were kind of hyped up. Cam Ward went number 1 overall. Shedeur went 5th or 6th round, whatever it was, and so whoever wins this game will have bragging rights for obviously beating the other person, but then obviously getting to 2 wins because Cam Ward only has 1 win. Shedeur has 1 win, but it only took him 2 games. So, anyways, spread -4 it's -4 pretty much. There's a couple 3.5s out there, like really public books. It looks like totals at 33.5. I do like this to go over. I don't know why I do, but I do. I lean over. I think the Browns can move the ball and score some points, and I like the Browns -4, guys. And these games where it's 2 trash teams, and I messed this up against. Well, I didn't mess it up, but I kind of have a rule like I don't bet what I don't know. And yeah, we saw Shedeur Sanders against the Ravens, but he was thrown in last second. He didn't have a week to practice, had no reps, had no game plan. Like I kind of pushed that to the side a little bit, threw that under the rug, so to say. And then they go out to Las Vegas the next week. I don't know if Shedeur is going to look okay. I don't know if he's going to look like how he did against the Ravens. I don't know. I don't bet what I don't know. I need to see it first. But looking back on it, I missed an opportunity because the Browns have the way better defense, guys. Way better. Like it didn't matter if Shedeur was so awful during that game. The Browns defense carried that team to a win, basically. And that's what I see here as well. I think the Browns defense carries the Browns to a win, no matter how good or bad Shedeur plays. But then also, I think the Browns offense and Shedeur Sanders has way more upside than the Titans do. I like the -4. I'm going to bet the Browns this week. I like the Browns this week, guys. Both teams are 500 against the spread, or not 500 against the spread. That can't be right. Or they have the same spread record, is what I meant to say. Let me make sure on that. Yeah, they have this. They're both 5-7 against the spread. So, yeah, whoever wins the game is probably going to cover, especially if the spread's under 7 points, which it is. So, yeah, I like it. Cleveland 6-6 over under, and Tennessee is 7-5 to the over. So maybe this is an under spot. I'm probably going to stay off the over under though, guys. But yeah, better defense at home, and Shedeur in that offense just has better rhythm, capability, ability, better offensive line. Cleveland's just better, guys. Cleveland's going to win this game. The Titans are really bad. If the Titans didn't win that game at Arizona, there would be murmurs about them not winning a game this year. They're probably not going to win a game the rest of the season. Next game up. Oh, God, my team, the Steelers at the Ravens. I told you guys I could not do it. I could not do it because the fan in me said, Eric, just wait. Maybe the Steelers pull off the unthinkable and beat the Bills. But my betting side of me, putting on my betting hat, I told you guys last week on the pod, told you guys, Bills -3. If I wasn't a Steelers fan, that'd be a 5-unit max bet. Okay, that was easy money. All right, my Steelers are a mess. They're a mess in so many ways. And with that said, the Ravens are a mess in so many ways. And so this game is huge. Whoever wins this gets the driver's seat for the rest of the year, pretty much, to win the division. The Steelers have 2 pretty easy games left that they'll win. That'll get them to 8 wins on the season. They just have to beat the Ravens probably once, and then it'll come down to strength of victory over common opponents, whoever gets the tiebreaker there. But yeah, the Steelers are live to win this, guys, and I'm not just saying that. I mean, it's a divisional game. Steelers have had really good success against the Ravens recently. I know not the last 2 meetings, but yeah, +6. I'm not going to bet it, but I can understand it. I can see Steelers +6 covering that number and potentially even winning. Weird divisional game, I know, guys, but Mike Tomlin back against the wall. He always delivers. His back's against the wall as much as it ever has been. So, he's delivered for like 18 years. That's hard to go against. Is this the year it finally crumbles on him? Maybe, probably, but I'm not going to get involved, guys. Over-unders at 42.5. I forget where these teams are over-under-wise. Pittsburgh 6-6, and then Baltimore is 7-5. So another 500, and then the other teams 58%, just like the last game with Cleveland and Tennessee. Man, I mean, I lean under. Guys. Steelers offense is a mess. Ravens offense is a mess. Both of these defenses played poorly last week. I expect them to play better this week. There are some 43s out there, actually. Actually, there are some 43.5s. There's a 43.5 out there. I like 43.5. I was just about to say 42.5 feels just a touch too low. 43 is a key number. I like that 43.5. Next game up. Got the Seahawks at the Falcons. So Sam Darnold is a little hurt. Sorry, first the spread. Seahawks -7-point favorites. Total is at 44.5. And let's see. Seahawks against the spread. Both these teams are over teams, right? No, Atlanta's an under team. Atlanta's 5-6 to the under. Seattle 7-5 to the over. So a little bit of a dichotomy there. Let's see. Against the spread. Oh, yeah. Seattle's 9-3. They're the best team in the NFL against the spread. And then Atlanta is not very good against the spread. They're 5-6. So not terrible. 5-6. So in theory, for some reason, like I'm telling you guys, Atlanta's probably going to cover this game. It makes no sense. I know. But just the way the stuff works out, like Seattle most likely will be the best ATS record team this season, most likely, which means they'll finish like 12-6 on the year. Like they'll probably go 3-3 the rest of the way out, or maybe they'll go 13-5, and then on an outlier situation they'll go 14-4 against the spread. So right now they're a 75% cover rate. Like that's just not sustainable, guys. They will not probably be profitable the rest of the year. I'm looking for spots to fade Seattle. Do I have the balls to do it against the Falcons? No, I really don't. I really don't want to just risk my money on that. But I'm telling you guys, Falcons probably do cover. Kirk Cousins, he looked okay, and then he looked bad. If Drake London comes back this week, I don't know if he is. I think it's still up in the air. If Drake London does come back this week, I'm going to be interested. But the Seahawks, I think Julian Love is off IR, or his practice window is open. Same with Jerron Reed. Seahawks have a lot of good defensive players coming back, and their defense is just really good in general. Oh, I do like this under, guys, a lot, actually. And I say that because of Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's hurt a little bit. I forgot what it is. Is it his ankle? Hold on, I'm curious now. Sorry, guys, I forgot what it was. Sam Darnold's hurt. Let's find out what it is really quickly. And, like, where is he? Oh, man, they're not going to say it. He was at... Did I see that wrong? I thought on Yahoo, on Fantasy, it said he was hurt. Okay, well, maybe he's not hurt. But I think he is, though, guys. I got to look into that. But anyways, if he is, I definitely like the under 44.5. Because Falcons defense at home, I think they play well. Seattle's defense is really good in general. So, yeah, it's tough, guys. It's tough. I'm not touching the spread. I do like the under 44.5. I still think there's room for unders, guys. I really do. I think there's a lot of room for unders. Historically speaking, unders hit more times than not at like a very profitable rate. They're not always fun to bet, and sometimes you lose them in the first half or the third quarter, and then you feel stupid. But get comfortable betting unders. This next game is a great under game in my opinion. The Colts at the Jaguars, totals at 47.5. Daniel Jones has like a fractured fibula or something like that. He only ran the ball one time for 1 yard last week. He's not running, guys, and that's a big part of the Colts offense. Like, seriously, he does well in the quarterback sneak for touchdowns at the goal line. He does well to extend plays and all that stuff. Like, so if he can't do that, the Colts' great offense, great amazing offense, is not going to put up 30 points, guys. It's not. And the Jaguars' defense isn't that special, but if Daniel Jones can't run around, like, that's a big issue. And Jaguars' defensive line is disruptive, so that's off break. I love the Jaguars' defense to slow down the Colts. Jaguars' offense, I'm not a believer. I think Cohen's a really good play caller, but I don't trust Trevor Lawrence in a divisional game against any competent defense at all. Colts are a competent defense. You know, I don't think Sauce Gardner is going to play this week, or was that Charvarius Ward? One of the starting corners. I think it's Sauce Gardner. But yeah, I still think there's enough there for the Colts. They have a good enough group of a defense to stop the Jaguars. Now, as far as like who's going to win the game, the spread is a pick 'em pretty much. It's Colts -1.5. But if you guys remember, I don't think the Colts have won in Jacksonville in like 12 years. Like, it's been that long. I'm pretty sure about that. Yeah, because the Jaguars beat the Joe Flacco-led Colts last year, I believe. I'm pretty sure I'm remembering that correctly. So yeah, I'm gonna ride with the Jaguars, guys. You know, Colts for whatever reason they can't win there, and the Colts aren't playing well. The Jaguars are playing well. You know, maybe the Colts snap the streak, but I don't know. Jaguars have been a really weird team this year. They're not that good. They're not good. They have an 8-4 record, but it's fool's gold. They're not that good, guys. I promise you. This team, I'm looking to fade them, but man, it's hard. They just have this weird luck about them this year. I think they hold on strong this week actually and win this game. Next game up, keep this one quick. Buccaneers -8.5 hosting the Saints. They're the favorites, of course. Over/unders at 42.5. I kind of like that game to go over, just because I don't trust either of these two defenses, and obviously the Buccaneers are getting a little more healthy on offense. They're running the ball well. The Saints secondary can't tackle well at all. The Saints secondary is just not very good. So, you know, I lean Buccaneers -8.5. And Tyler Shuck, or whatever his last name is, Shuck, whatever it is. It won't matter. He'll be out of the league in 2 years, and we won't have to say his name ever again. And after I just like trashed him, he actually did okay last week. He made some plays to get the ball in the end zone, and so I think he can do that a little bit here. I think he can get close to like 17 points. And then I like Tampa Bay to get close to like 28. So 28-17. That is an over bet, and that is Buccaneers minus 8.5. Next game up, we got the Bengals and the Bills. Over under is 53.5. Spread is minus 5.5. So what? T. Higgins, does he come back this week? He should come back this week. That's good news. And then the Bengals. I mean, the Bengals looked offensively. They looked okay last week. Man, that was a surprising outcome, in my opinion. I think in a lot of people's opinions. So Joe Burrow getting 5.5 points, even with this sorry ass defense, it's tempting. But I feel like this game's gonna be a clear, like, pros versus Joes. I think the Joes are gonna be on the Bills minus 5.5, and I think all the public money will be on plus 5.5 Cincinnati. Now, the public money doesn't always lose, guys, and sometimes the public wins the entire NFL season. Like last year, all the favorites won and covered at like an outlier rate. So, you know, the public probably made a lot of money last year, and then overs hit at a huge rate. What does the public like to do? They like to bet favorites. They like to tease favorites, and they like to bet the over. If that all happens, you know, people who think they know sports betting, like last year, like first-time sports bettors, are like, oh, this is easy. It's not that easy, guys. Well, it's not that easy if you don't know what you're doing. But yeah, I like Bills minus 5, guys. I think they're in a good groove. They need to keep winning because the Texans and Chiefs are going to keep putting pressure on the wild card position. I like minus 5.5 Buffalo. They are the better defense. I think that defense is figuring some things out. They're going to get tested this week, but Bills should have their way against that Bengals defense. And as far as over-under, 53 is high. Let's see. Cincinnati, I know, is an over team. And I faded them last week. They're 7-5, so they're one of the 7-5 teams this week. And Buffalo is 5-7, so they're 58% to the under. So that's interesting. I'd lean under. I'm probably not going to bet that one, but I lean under in that game. Almond under's better, but still. All right, 4 o'clock games. We got the Broncos at the Raiders. We'll keep this quick, guys. It's Broncos or nothing for me. The Raiders are so bad defensively that even the Broncos, who aren't very good on the road, I could still see them winning by 10 easily. Geno Smith is bad. Raiders defense is not very good. Broncos defense could win the game 14-0 by themselves. Over-unders at 40.5. I lean under. Well, actually, I lean over. I do lean over. Because I think the Broncos could finally break out and get to like 35 points on the road against this defense, or score a couple defensive touchdowns. Then the Raiders get like maybe a couple charity points at the end, get to like 13, 14 points. I have no strong opinion on that total. Next game up, we got the Bears at the Packers. Packers minus 6.5. Home favorites. And the total is 44.5. Now, this is tough because I really don't like the line at minus 6.5, but it's a clear, as far as like against the spread play, it's clearly Green Bay. Green Bay's 5-7 against the spread, while the Bears are 8-4 against the spread. And the Bears are not that good of a team, guys. If you look at their strength of victory or strength of schedule, it's one of the bottom 3 in the NFL. The way that they've won against their really easy schedule has been them coming back in the fourth quarter pretty much every game. So like they're coming back against bad teams. Like good teams beat bad teams easily more times than not. Chicago doesn't do that. Chicago's not a great team, guys. Green Bay's going to win this game. Do they cover that 6.5? That's the question. That's the question. Because the Packers defense, they've shown some holes. It's tough, guys. I really wish that line was like closer to like 4, like -4. That would make me feel a lot better about the Packers. That's tough. I'm probably still going to bet the Packers -6.5 just because it's basically a system play at this point with the way the trends are against the spread. And if the team wins the game more times than not, and they have to win the game now, they will cover the spread as long as that spread's below 10 points, but especially if it's below 7 points. If that team wins the game, they're going to cover that spread at like 65% of the time, guys. I promise you. But you got to make sure they win. You got to make sure they win. Because that other 35% of the time, either the underdog wins outright or they cover the spread. All right, let's see the over-under. Over-under. Chicago, 6-5 to the over. Green Bay is 6-6. So there's room. There is room for an under here. Kind of like it, but I kind of like the over in this game. Bears defense is bad. I could see the Packers at home just turning up, just blowing them out, and then the Bears offense is still capable of getting close to 20. I could see like a 30-20 game. Yeah, that's the way I lean for that game. All right, next game up, we got the Rams at the Cardinals. -8, -7.5 to the Rams, and I can only look that way. Totals at 47.5. I really like the under in this game, guys, and I'll tell you why. I love getting the better offense on the road. That's important for me with totals. I'm getting the better offense on the road in the Rams. Getting a Cardinals defense who plays hard at home. And also, sorry, just saying, guys, need some water. All right, I'm ready. Yeah, better offense on the road. Usually offenses play better at home. Generally speaking, they score more points at home. So I'm getting that factor. Cardinals defense has been playing better of late. They're healthier. So I like the Rams not to get to 30. Maybe high 20s. Maybe like 27, 28, somewhere around there. And then the Cardinals, they're getting a pissed off Rams defense. I'm getting the better defense on the road here. And they played awful last week. And they're like one of the top 5 defenses in the NFL. So I think they come up. The Cardinals aren't going to be able to run the ball. So it's just going to be that defensive line having a field day on Jacoby Brissett. I love it. I think the Rams win and cover. I think it's like a 27-17 game, 27-13, 27-14, something like that. That's the way I see that game. I like Rams -8, and I like that under a lot, guys. I'm going to be betting that under for sure. All right, let's go to Sunday Night Football. Oh, it's a good one. It's a good one. We got the Texans at the Chiefs. This is the divisional round rematch. We got the -3, a lot of -3.5s to the Chiefs, the home favorite. Over-unders at 42. I like that over. I do. The Chiefs offense, they'll figure out a way to get close to like 24-ish points, somewhere around there. And then I do think the Texans challenge and get like close to 21 points. I like the Chiefs to win this game, though, guys. I do. I think the Chiefs are going to make it really interesting down the stretch. I think it's going to be like a big old mess for that final 7th and 6th spot in the AFC wildcard. And I do like the Chiefs. Chiefs have delivered at home for me in big moments this year against Detroit and against the Colts. I think they pull off another big victory here at home. Sunday Night Football, backs against the wall. Give me the Chiefs one more time, guys. One more time before I throw in the towel on them at -3. For that total, I like it over, like I said. Texans defense is very, very good. But I just think the Chiefs, I think they're going to get that phone call down from the league office down to the boys in black and white, the Zebras. And I think there's going to be a lot of laundry on the field for the Chiefs going their way. And I think that's going to give a lot of easy points. So yeah, I think the Chiefs actually get close to 27, guys. I do. I really do. I like over in that game. All right, Monday Night Football. We got the Eagles at the Chargers. This is another good one. I like the Eagles, guys. I'm not panicking on the Eagles this year. I haven't. I've been pretty good in taking my spots with the Eagles, and I think this is a good spot. I think they played this team last year, if I'm not mistaken, and they beat them. That might have been Sunday Night Football, actually, or Monday. It might have been Monday Night Football. But yeah, Chargers are just, I don't know, guys. And for one thing's for sure, it's going to be a home game for for Eagles, because no one goes. There's no Chargers fans, so it's going to be all Eagles fans, and so that's huge. Eagles fans are restless. Eagles are going to have to show up. Prime time again. I think they win this, guys. I like that -2.5. -3 is fine too, but obviously the -2.5, -120. I think that's a good bet there, guys. Chargers defense is good. They could keep it a close game for sure. 40.5, 41. I do lean over. I lean over 40.5. I think the Eagles. I think they can do all right against this Chargers defense. This Chargers defense has shown that they can give up some points here and there, and then the Chargers at home, they'll fight hard too. I lean over there. Not a huge strong feel on that total though. But yeah, guys, that is the podcast. Dang, I feel like I was talking a lot, but it's only 36 minutes. Well, I'm not complaining, guys. I felt like I was talking to normal. I felt like I was talking like 45 to 50 minutes like I usually do. I guess because I just skipped like some of those games, basically. I mean, Saints, Buccaneers, come on. We're not talking about that mess. Broncos, Raiders, we're not talking about that mess. Come on. So, but yeah, guys, there's, like I say, let's talk about last week. The wins and covers. There were only 3 teams that won and did not cover last week. It was the Dolphins, it was the Buccaneers, and somebody else. But yeah, again, if you can pick the winners, you're going to cover the spread, even as favorites. Obviously, there were a lot of underdogs that won last week. For the season, that is coming back down. I think favorites are only like 51.9% against the spread this year. So there is a little bit of room, historically, trend speaking, that it'll probably land closer to under 51% for the year. Probably be a little bit above 50, maybe a little bit below. So I think looking to bet underdogs is still a really smart way to go moving forward. And then obviously betting because the over unders are back to 50%. I still think there's some good value on these unders, guys. I really do. But yeah, that's the podcast, guys. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for listening, and let's win some money this week. Let's get after it.